Welcome, Joe. Welcome to another week and another episode.
Yes, yes. I'm so excited. It's a great topic. I love talking about what we're going to talk about today, which is diet and how it affects us spiritually.
I love it. I
And
think
have
it's
you
so
been well?
relevant in these times, I think, Joe, because you go to the supermarket, there's so much crap everywhere,
Yes,
and you're tempted to eat it. And then it's like, yeah, what have I just put into my body?
yes, very much so. And I think it's so misleading. My mum used to say something really interesting. She said, just buy things around the perimeter of the shop.
Yeah, yeah, because
She
that's where
goes,
your
you
fruit
don't
and
need
veg
to.
is. You got your
Yes,
dairy section, and then you got your butchery, and that's all you need because
yes.
everything else is it's crap.
Yes. And if it is a diet thing, it's often filled with really high chemical ingredients that you really shouldn't be having either. So, I think
Exactly.
it's interesting.
I agree. And I want to just put a disclaimer at the front. This is not medical advice. We are not doctors. We are talking from our personal experience only. And if you want to
Yeah.
go on to a diet, seek your medical advice before you commence any diet or anything like that.
Yes, absolutely. Very much. Good
But I
good advice.
agree. I don't buy anything that's pre-packaged. I don't buy anything that is in a box.
Hmm.
Um, when we go shopping, seriously, what you just said. I mean, I shop at Aldi and I buy their meats and stuff there. I know I could do better at a butcher, but that comes at a cost as well. And everybody's, um, scratching for pennies and pounds at the moment. Do you know what I mean? So I buy
Yes.
my meat at Aldi and I bless it before I cook it, but it's just meat. It's nothing on it. It's just a cut of meat. I won't even go and buy prepackaged sausages. I won't even go and buy anything, any meats that are crumbed or any stir
Mm.
fries that are created because what they do is they fill it with sugars, they fill it with chemicals and all of these things, and you don't know. So if you're going to make stuff like that, start from scratch, make it from
Yes.
scratch because you know what's in it. And it's like we're going back to what it was like in the 50s and 60s.
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean, Joe? Before
Yeah.
there was convenience foods to make your life easy. But what these convenience did was it made you fat and it gave you blood pressure and it gave you diabetes and all of those things. So they got you onto a bandwagon for the medical world. It was
Absolutely.
nothing convenient about it. It put you on a, what's the word I'm looking for? It put you on a pathway towards medical intervention, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So I'll give you a classic example. So as you guys probably know, and if you don't know, you're about to learn, I've been low carb keto now for about 3 years. And in 8 weeks, I dropped 12 kilos, and that was just on food, no exercise. It was just food, but there was nothing that was pre-packaged, nothing. Saturday is my cooking day, so I lose half a day, but I prefer to lose half a day because I know what I'm putting in here. It's all natural. It's all, there's nothing, it's if I'm using garlic, I crush a garlic clove. If I'm using vegetables, I buy the vegetables. I don't even get frozen veg, but I'll only because I've got a great greengrocer down the road. So I just buy it fresh. And then I chop it
Mm.
all up and I cook it and I do it and I batch freeze them. But 8 weeks I was able to drop 12 kilos and there's no crap there. And that means, I mean, you've been doing it too, Joe. Dropping the
Yes.
sugars, and sugar is hidden in so many different things. Dropping the carbohydrates. And I got my weight down to a much more manageable level. So I dropped 12 kilos and I've got to be honest, my lowest I got down to was like 66, 67 kilos, but I'm fluctuating now between 70 and 72. So my body's now feeling I'm healthy at that range, 70, 72. Let's
Yeah.
maintain that. So look, if I go away on a holiday, I eat crap. I eat like everybody else. If
Yeah.
it's a Easter or a Christmas, I eat everything. But then what I'll do is I will then go and strictly come back to my lifestyle, my keto lifestyle, my low carb lifestyle, so I can benefit from that.
Mm.
What do you do, Joe?
Well, I have been on I've lost 9 kilos, I think,
Oh,
this year
you.
so far.
Yeah.
Mm. So, I I wouldn't say I eat bad, but I probably like how I got this way was, I'd get home and I'd have some, cheese on crackers. So I'd still have good veggies for all my meals, but I'd have naughty little snacks. So, which weren't really bad, but they are high calorie snacks.
And
So I
they
had to,
accumulate. It accumulates
yes,
over time.
yes. So yeah, so I'm trying to get down to like, 70 kilos. So it'll take me a little while. And because I'm a bit of food addicted human, I have to admit, but I'm getting there with some help, so that's good. But I'm really into for my children because they're both athletes to eat all your nutrients through your food,
Yep.
not through supplements. I mean, they do
Yep.
take magnesium because they'll cramp otherwise if they have a fair few games on the one day.
Yep.
But yeah, to me, I try and have protein every meal. I don't drink alcohol ever. So I think the last time I drank was maybe at a Christmas party in December.
Yep.
So I wouldn't say I strictly don't drink, but it's not something I sort out weekly or anything like that.
Yep.
But for my biggest thing is that women in particular, we're so confused. Like you're so bamboozled on what to do. I guess my biggest thing is if you cut sugar and carbs out, it'll fall off fairly quickly.
And it's
So,
true because your body's looking for a different fuel source. So the body will
yeah.
take all the sugars first, and it takes the sugars from your muscles and your blood and all of that stuff. Okay. Then what it
Mm,
does is like, okay, there's no more sugar. What am I going to do? And the liver goes, okay, I've got to make ketones. So I'll take the fat next. And that's what
mm,
happens, Joe. So you're losing all the sugars first. So the first few days, you're just burning sugar that you're not
mm,
replacing. And then after that, you're burning up, sorry, your fuels, your fats. And then that's why the weight drops. So it's a very interesting process. But I found that when I changed my diet for spirituality, my spiritual aspect became stronger and clearer
yes.
because I'm not putting these chemicals in my body. I'm not putting in anything that is blocking my connection to spirit. And
Yes.
that's really powerful. So, people that want to trust intuition and stuff like that, you've got to start looking at how am I fueling this vessel? What am I
Mm,
putting into it? Because if I put crap into it, I'm going to get crap out of it, really.
yes.
And oh, look, I'm a Taurus. Taurians are food obsessed, good food obsessed, cakes, sweets, chocolate, all of the good stuff. And it's like I've really had to learn to the word was moderation, and I just didn't have it in moderation. I was just like, I want chocolate, I'll have it now. I want a cake, I'll go and get it. Whereas now it's a case of it's a treat meal. Okay, a chocolate.
Mm,
If I eat chocolate now, it's 85% dark chocolate because I can do that. But other than that, if I want dairy milk, it's a treat, and I'll do it once a month. I'll do it whenever. Or if it's cake, it's got to be somebody special's birthday.
yes.
It's Mother's Day coming up this week, and I'll just go and have a Caesar salad with eggs and anchovies and bacon bits and all of that sort of stuff. Because it's like, yeah, it's okay, but I just need to fuel wisely. And then when
Yes.
it's, a few weeks' time, there's going to be a bigger celebration. I'll eat cake then. So
Mm,
this is what it's all about, guys. Moderation, but watching what you're putting into your vessel. So Joe was right at the start. Shop the outside of the supermarket. And
yeah.
I don't know how strict do you become with that, Joe? How strict are you with what you cook with and all of that sort of stuff, like oils and things? How strict do you
Oh,
become with
yeah.
that?
I either cook with coconut oil or olive oil. I don't
Yeah,
go with any of the other oils because they're quite bad for us.
yeah,
Um, the other thing that just quickly with the sugar crave, going back, sometimes people need to do a parasite cleanse because when they're craving sugar, it's often that they've got parasites within their liver or gut. So I often say I do two 60-day parasite cleanses twice a year.
yep.
And even though I might not be presenting with any parasite things, but it's amazing. Elliot hadn't done one ever, and when Elliot did it, and he didn't even really try, he lost 9 kilos. And the lady,
Wow.
like his naturopath, was like, "Yeah, I think you were full of, yet some of your liver had parasites in it." So
Yeah.
I think that irritable bowel, I don't think that actually exists. I think that people who are presenting with irritable bowel, and again, I'm not a doctor, so I can't really make that claim, but I often think when people do a parasite clean out, then their IBS symptoms will disappear.
Well, I think you're on the money, Joe, because I know when I was keto, before I was keto, if I eat cream, I'd have to run to the toilet half an hour later because it goes go
Mm.
right through me. I did keto, and that's butters, creams, cream cheeses. It doesn't have the same effect. So something's going on it's not the cream. There must have been something going on in my stomach. And I don't know what you use for your parasite cleansers, but I've got
Yeah.
like the clove, the black clove, and the black walnut seed oils, and all of those
Yes.
things, and you just take it in water. Is yours
Yeah.
similar?
So, yeah, so you could use I like the Vita Cleanse. There's a
Okay.
product and it's a tablet form. I
Oh, there you
like that,
go.
and I probably suggest that a lot for my clients because there's a kids chewy, chalky kind of fruit tingly tablet, and then
Yeah,
the parents can take, and it's got wormwood and all the
yeah,
products that yeah
yeah,
that you want to take. So I like that one. We also have Alchemy has their own herbal tincture that it's got garlic and wormwood, and it's got some pretty strong things in it.
yeah,
I'm a bit of a Nance and I don't like the taste of it. So, and I don't want to take it with a sugary drink to kind of, so I'm a tablet girl. So,
yeah,
um, yeah. But the other thing about parasite cleansers is someone comes to you and go, "Oh, I've got such bad brain fog and I think it might be menopause and things." I instantly will put them or suggest for them to go on a 60-day parasite cleanse
yeah,
because it's not brain fog really. It's more than likely that they're parasite, you know,
yeah.
charged.
Yeah,
Mm.
no, and it's something worthwhile to consider doing in your diet. And I think you're on the money
Yes.
too, because I eat a lot of garlic and I
Yes.
just buy the garlic cloves, and garlic is very good for killing any parasites.
Yes.
And I eat a lot of herbs and spices. So a lot of that stuff is in what I eat. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's why I also feel like when you eat naturally, guys, and you're not eating
Yes.
something out of a cardboard box that you're going to go dit, 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 on a microwave and heat it up, your
Mm.
body's getting the benefit of the nutrients and it's absorbing all of that stuff. And as Joe said, sometimes it's better to take it naturally than through a tablet because the tablet is just synthetic form. It's not the real form, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. It's a chemical composition that mimics what the natural is, but sometimes they're way off the mark, and that whole industry is not regulated. So you've got to be really mindful about what you pop in. So when you're
Yeah.
eating natural stuff like garlic and cloves and stuff like that, it's doing all of that stuff as well. So it's very, very beneficial. Like you, Joe,
Yes.
we use coconut oil.
Yes.
Coconut oil is great with stir fries because it gives you that coconutty flavor. Coconut oil
Yes.
is also being shown in studies recently to help drop your weight.
Yeah.
Okay, because you've got the oil, it satiates you for longer, so you're probably not eating as much. So we use coconut, olive oil like you, and we also use avocado oil. And people say to me,
Yes.
ugh, avocado oil, it's got no taste. It doesn't taste like avocado. So it's a really good oil when you need to cook something really quickly on a high heat. It holds the heat. It's better than olive oil because it holds the heat. So there's stuff that you can do, guys, that
Mm.
shows you that it can really help you beneficially.
Um,
Um,
yeah.
and it's
And
very worthwhile.
yeah, coconut oil is also an anti-inflammatory. So, and
Yes.
yeah, I was like, oh yeah. So if I massage with sweet almond oil, my hands will ache. Um, you know, but if I use coconut oil, no achy hands.
It's
So
interesting, isn't it? They use coconut oil for mouth pulling in your mouth. Have you ever done that?
yes, so yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and
I
I use the
love that.
coconut oil for that too. You swish it around in your mouth and it pulls all the germs and crap out of your mouth because this is the start. So you've got good gut bacteria. That's why it's really important to feed it with, you know,
Yes,
kimchi and sauerkraut, your fermented foods. But what happens is
I
if
love
your
it.
mouth bacteria is not good, you're not giving
Yes,
your gut a head start. So oil pulling in your mouth with coconut oil
yeah,
is really beneficial to kill the stuff that's not good in your mouth, but aids the things that are good, the bacteria that are good in your mouth, so that you can actually have a better gut biome going on. There's so much.
yeah.
This is such a big topic, Joe, with food and how you can eat. But a lot of people's problems is malnutrition from poor diet, really, because they're
Oh,
eating a box
yeah.
and it's just a chemical of this, chemical of that, preservatives,
Mm.
not natural.
And I get really sad to think we're not a third world country and you can
No.
drink water out of the tap, but probably 80% of us are dehydrated like we were in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Because no one's drinking enough water. And it's Elliot has the great statistics on that because he does colonics. So he's all
Hmm.
about the hydration of the gut. But it's you've got to work on not just 8 glasses of water per se. It goes on how many kilos you are. So yeah, so for me, I really need to have 3 liters of water because of my how many kilos I am. So it's really good to be mindful about what you're drinking
Hmm.
because that also aids in weight loss as well. Because if your body is dehydrated, it's in survival mode because your brain gets panicked. Often, when people have anxiety, now some of it is trauma based, without a doubt, but some of them is, I often say to my clients, if you're getting a little anxious, ask yourself how much water you've had because your brain starts to get the panics when it's starting to dehydrate. And if so you just got to go and have a good couple of drinks of water, some herbal tea, and that could lower the levels of anxiousness.
And that's so true because you're 70%, your body's 70% water. And we're
Yeah,
not, and we lose it through perspiration. We lose it through exercise, walking. Lots of aspects of our lives, we lose fluid. So it's really important to, hydrate. Now, if you feel like you're drinking the water, but you're still feeling dehydrated, put salt in it. Put your Celtic
yeah,
salts, get some hydrolytes or something like that that's going to give you some minerals. Because if you're drinking, like Joe said, if you're drinking 3 or 4 liters of water a day, sometimes you're going to
yeah,
go and, you'll be running to the toilet quite a lot, especially on a cold day like today in Melbourne. It's important to have some of those salts because your body's going to flush them out very quickly. So
yes,
salts and stuff like that. So I recommend for people look at diets, look at what you're eating, especially when you're on a spiritual pathway and you want to increase your intuitive abilities or you want to do more or see more. I know when I've had clients here and I always ask them, how's your diet? What are you eating? Give me an example. Rah, rah, rah. And some of my clients say, "Oh, Charles, I've changed it, and now I'm sleeping better. I'm
mm,
feeling more relaxed. I'm
yeah,
not eating as much because I'm eating proper foods or better foods for me, and it's keeping me fuller longer. So I'm not eating the chips. I'm not eating the M&Ms or the chocolate, because you have that stuff, and all it does is it spikes your insulin, and it drops, and then you think, I need more.
yeah,
That's why when sometimes you hear people about Tim Tams. I was one of these people. I'd have one Tim Tam. And it's like, oh, great, I'll put the rest away. And then all of a sudden, my insulin spikes because the sugar's gone into the blood. And it's like, yeah, this feels good. All of a sudden, then it drops. And it's like, I need another
yeah,
Tim Tam because I need to feel good again. And before you know it, you've eaten the whole packet. Now that I'm low
yes,
carb and all of that stuff, I don't have the spikes because there's not as
no,
much sugar in what we're eating. So, look, it's up to you guys to follow your own intuition
yes,
about what you need to do with eating and how it looks. And
yeah,
I watch Bashar. Do you watch Bashar?
yes,
And he had a video on, I saw it on YouTube the other day. What should we be eating? And the guidance was follow what your body needs, follow what the needs of your body is. And sometimes when we're eating crap, we've got interference. We don't know what our bodies are. We don't even know if we're hungry because people's signals are being waylaid by the crap in the food. Do you know what I mean?
mm,
And
mm,
so listen to what your body needs, and it will tell you what you like. If you feel like tomatoes, go and have a tomato because there's something in that tomato that needs to lift you up. My biggest thing with that is seriously is dark chocolate. I eat a lot of dark chocolate, and that's for me getting magnesium into the body. I mean,
yeah,
I do like your kids. I do take a magnesium supplement because it's very important. But
yeah,
if I feel like I'm not getting enough, my body's going to go dark chocolate, dark chocolate, dark chocolate. And I don't have it every week. I don't need it every week. But then some weeks I might need 2 blocks because it's like I might be stressed and I'm going through, something big. Feed it. Give the magnesium to the body. So listen to what your body wants and honor it. Okay. And try and
yeah,
eat foods. This is hard because we live in greengrocers that gets foods from all over the world, but try and eat foods that are in season. Like it's cold
yes,
now. Cabbages are good, Brussels sprouts, broccolis, collies, all of the winter foods. Eat your winter
yes,
foods now, because
yes.
that's what your body's
Particularly,
designed to do.
yeah, and particularly if you have a histamine problem, then a part of a histamine diet is to eat within like seasonal foods.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing that I love about foods is that I will often say to someone, if someone's having a big, let's say, heart issue, like emotionally, I'll talk to them about what foods are good for our heart chakra. So, tomatoes, beetroots, all the
Yeah.
red foods are really good for the heart, but also like green apples, things
Yes.
like that.
Yes.
So I often will talk about like the foods associated with the chakra system because
Hmm.
that also helps on a spiritual level. Um, so
And that's what they
yeah, so
say, Joe. Eat the colors of
yeah.
the rainbow. Now, the colors of the
Yes,
rainbow are your 7 chakras: reds,
yeah,
orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. You might find blueberries. You might find it's only going to be
yes,
blueberries or something to that effect. But,
yes,
yellow, you got lots of different things: capsicums, butternut squashes, lots,
yes,
zucchini flowers, all of that stuff.
yeah,
Eat with the rainbow. See where you're tempted. I love it. Sean hates going to the greengrocer, and I'm loving it. It's like, yeah, you
Oh, I
go.
love it.
I love it. So I've got an eggplant there. I've got brown mushrooms I'm going to have. I've got yellow, green, and red capsicums. I'll go and buy
Yeah.
cabbage. Cabbage is so good. I buy cabbage like this big joe. I always look for the biggest one, $2. Now, that
Mm.
cabbage gives me 5 meals, but they're such good for meals for my gut. And I fry it up with
Oh, yeah.
garlic and mushrooms and onions and cumin and paprika and all of that stuff to give it flavor.
Yes.
Then I might put a little bit
Yeah.
of cream or a little bit of cream cheese in it to give it some sauce. Delicious. Put a bit of protein with that, like chicken or meat or halloumi or something like that, or beans, whatever. And there's a meal and it's good. And you just created it from scratch. It takes 10 minutes, 15 minutes max, but you're eating
Mm.
healthily. Go to the greengrocer, just wander, and you'll be
Yeah.
surprised by what you can find.
Absolutely. And I'm also for having a little treat of, strawberries are so sweet.
Yeah.
So that can be a little sugar hit, even though it is sugar, but it's a bit of a natural hit.
Yeah.
Um, or I like the coconut yogurt, the Cocoa Bell, is it
I've
yogurt?
never tried it.
Oh, I love it. Mm-mm.
You know what we do
So
for a sweet treat too? Herbal
what?
teas.
Oh, yeah.
The
Yep.
berry teas, lemon and ginger. I drink a lot of green tea. We've also
Mm.
got licorice and
Yep.
peppermint. That's delicious. So if you want something sweet without the calories, and
Yeah.
it just for the palate, just so you can taste that sweetness, consider
Yeah.
um, non-sugared, like your herbal teas, because that's enough
Yes.
sometimes for you to get the sugar hit in your mouth and stuff. I'm good, but there's 0 calories with that, and it's something that just wants to. It's a fluid, so it's going to hydrate you as well. And it can be
Yeah.
quite beneficial. So, yeah, I've really taken to green teas and the licorice teas and the berry teas, all of those different things for flavor.
Mm. It's interesting when you go on that kind of diet, it's amazing how, yeah, your brain becomes so much clearer and your
Of
spiritual
course.
download are, I feel like are so profound because of there's no chemicals there
You're
to change or
supercharged.
alter.
You're
Yeah,
supercharged. That's the thing. So this is the
yeah,
key, guys. Start looking at what am I eating? And if you like
yeah,
your chicken schnitzels, go and buy some bread, crumb it, okay, or buy breadcrumbs. Just make sure there's not a lot of crap with it, and then do it
yeah,
yourself because it's so much
yeah,
more. When you make it for somebody, like I cook for Sean, and you put love into it, the flavor is 10 times better. It really is
yeah,
10 times better. Love is the special ingredient in all of my
yeah.
cooking. Because if I can't be bothered cooking, you don't want to eat it, seriously. But
Mm,
when I'm really passionate about what I want to make, and I make
mm,
like halloumi, what do I call them? It's like a halloumi parmigiano, Joe. I get a halloumi, I get a big kilo block, slice it this way. So it's big, fry it. Then I put it in egg and I use almond flour, but it's almond meal, so it's a little bit thicker because
yeah,
I don't use flour. I put it in almond meal. I fry it again, and then I put it in the oven and make a tomato sauce. Put the tomato sauce. I put a guacamole on the top and a bit of mozzarella cheese. So it's like a vegetarian parmigiana, but it's made of halloumi.
yeah.
When you make stuff like that, there's passion because it's like, hey, I want it to work. I want it, and then you just roast some vegetables, pop it on the side, easy peasy.
Mm,
Yeah, get creative with your cooking. Herbs are your
yeah,
friends. Herbs really want to give you flavor. My herb cupboard is stupid because I've got so many different herbs in it now. But
yeah.
play in the kitchen. It helps you out.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. And I think also, oh, I am really driven to become more self-sustainable at home. So, we're changing one of our gardens. That was a big shrub native garden, and we're going to change it into and have our own fruit trees and a little bit
No,
more of a
you.
veggie. Yeah, and I think it's just so you can be, what are being sprayed on your veggies and fruits.
And
So,
when you grow it yourself, Joe, it's got so much more flavor.
yeah,
Tomatoes you
particularly,
buy, they've got no
yeah,
flavor. They're just water because that's all
no,
they're being fed, water and chemicals. But if
yeah,
you grow it in your own garden and it's got
yeah,
earth and you give it blood and bone, whatever, and just put leaves around it because the leaves will compost into it. Oh my
yeah.
goodness gracious me. The flavor in those tomatoes is next level. It's like, whoa, it really hits you. So,
And I often find with people, I tell people start in pots. So,
yeah,
just buy cucumber, capsicum, and cherry tomatoes because cherry tomatoes are very hard to kill, and just start in pots because you can't. I feel it's a bit trickier when you go into garden beds, but
yeah,
you know, pots are easier to start with if you're a bit of a beginner.
Joe, you know
So,
what? Something even easier, darling. I watch a lot of YouTube because I don't watch television. And I watched a man in New Jersey. He gets a piece of cardboard, puts it on the floor, on the outdoors. Then he just gets the bag of potting mix and he puts a
oh
slit in
yeah,
it, right? And
yeah,
then he just puts the seedlings into the slit,
yeah, it's even
grows it in the
better.
bag. He's like,
Yeah,
he goes, you don't even need a pot. If you're, if
mm,
you've got a balcony, just cut it, or cut
yeah,
your bag and then just put it in there and then it will still grow. And it's like, oh my God, that's so easy. So
yeah,
get creative, guys. Get creative with your food because food really it does want to help you. Your medicines
very much.
are in the food. Okay.
Yes,
Just understand that. When you take a pill for whatever it might be, all of that stuff in that pill is a mimic of what's in nature. Just
yes,
understand that. So do yourself a favor, eat natural foods, and you won't need the pill. Okay?
mm,
Work that out.
mm, very much
It's
so.
it's
And
it's
I think
it's
that's
it's it's easy for me to say because I've done the journey. So I know how hard it is, guys. Trust me, I know how hard it is if you're raising a family to do all of that. I get it. But
yeah,
a wise man said to me once, you either invest in your health now, okay, or you're going to invest in it later. And when you're
mm,
investing in it now, you're buying food that's going to help you. Otherwise, you're going into the medical program later, and it's still going to cost you just as much money.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I always say eat all your vitamins through your food. And
Agreed.
look, you do sometimes some supplements. I just think if you are going to buy supplements, try and buy it from like a good brand like Metagenics or Bioceuticals,
Yeah.
where they're they are somewhat regulated as
Yeah.
opposed to some of the supermarket ones are a bit full of
They're
fillers and
fillers.
things. I'm not
Fillers.
sure.
Fillers.
Mm,
So yeah, so just watch, guys. Watch how you can do. Diet is very important. People are underestimating it, and it's a very important thing. I want to give you an example very quickly before we go. My friend suffers from very high diabetes levels. He checks his sugar levels. That's what I'm trying to say. And they were at nines and tens every day. And he's been on Ozempic, double dose of Ozempic, and all this stuff, and it just wasn't working. And I suggested to him, I was like, okay, you're on this medication. You don't want to be on these other medications because he's on multiple medications for the diabetes. And I said, start looking at what's coming into the mouth. Okay, start looking at
mm,
what you're eating. He goes, what do you
yeah,
mean? I said, well, everything that you eat, if it's got a carbohydrate attached to it, or if it's a sugary fruit, or starchy vegetables, or potatoes and pumpkin, it's adding sugar into your body. So your body's just being inundated with sugar. I said, what you possibly need to do is look at how do I reduce what I'm eating of those things so that my body's not having excess sugar. So it was so exciting that I told him that and I gave him a few reference points. I sent him like a YouTube channel that he could watch to learn about that. He called me the next week and he goes, I've taken your advice on board. I haven't gone full low carb. I haven't done any of that. He goes, I still have like a turkey sandwich for lunch. He goes, but I do it on like a rye bread, but I'm having cauliflower rice instead of rice with my chicken and I'm just cooking it in the oven. He goes, my bloods went from tens down to six and a half. He's still
oh,
on his
so good.
medication. And I said, that's fine. And I said,
Yeah.
do it with your doctor's advice and keep your doctor in the loop. He went to his specialist yesterday and it's dropped even more. At one stage, it went down to three. She goes, well, that's too low. And I said, yeah, that's too low. But, he's averaging now 5 or 6. He's already coming off one of his meds. That's 2 weeks.
Perfect.
2 weeks. Now, the thing is, I said, you got to get into a routine and that becomes the norm. Your sugary
Mm,
stuff becomes the treat. Okay. He
mm.
goes, yeah, that's fine. And I said, there are alternatives that you can eat. I said, there's low carb bread. He goes, what? I said, go and have a look at the supermarkets. You can get bread that's lower carbohydrate so that if you
Yeah.
want to keep your bread, you can have it. I said, but there are also wraps with like zero carbs. So he went and bought the
Mm,
wraps that are zero carbs. He goes, Charles, it's just like eating other stuff. It's like, yes.
yeah.
So people say you're missing out. You don't really have to.
No.
I make
And
some amazing low carb cookies, Joe. I'm going to flick you the recipe. And you use coconut oil. Oh my God, they're
uh,
the best cookies ever. They're like Mrs. Fields cookies. Oh my goodness gracious me. Love
oh,
them.
I love that.
Love
Yeah.
them.
And diabetes that they don't really talk now much about that they need to go on a low GI diet, which, you know, it's important, which is like you've just suggested to your friend. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do your own research, people. It's time for us to start waking up as humans and not having to believe everything that we're told. Okay, because that's a
Yeah.
program. So whatever they tell you, take it on board, listen to it, but then ask yourself, how does this work for me? Is there a better way? That's all you need to
Yes.
do. Ask yourself, is this okay for me or is there a better way? And if you investigate it, there's no better way and you feel good about it, go and do it. But if you want to investigate different alternatives, you've got to say to your doctors, okay, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? And then you
Mm.
might want to go and get a second opinion because there's a lot of new doctors that are coming out now. I don't know what it's like in Bellingen, Joe, but we've got some that are starting up now that they're low carb fanatics. And it's just like, yep, let's go. Let's start changing the world. And the doctors are doing retreats and all of this stuff to help people get off the medical bandwagon. So
Yeah,
interesting times. It's about you taking control of your life through what you're eating, and that will help you later on. I hope you've enjoyed
absolutely.
this discussion. Joe, have you just enjoyed this discussion?
I love this discussion. I could talk about nutrition and diet relating to spiritual awakenings all day.
Yeah, same. Same, same, same. You want to eat and bless your food, guys. Bless your food before you eat it. Okay. If you know Reiki symbols, give it some Reiki symbols, give it some love. Otherwise, you just bless it. And the one thing that I've always done and cry on validated the other day. If you're on a road trip, you're doing something and you think, okay, the kids, you got the kids in the back, and it's like, we're going to go to McDonald's. We're just going to shut them up. Let's just go to McDonald's. Go to McDonald's, eat what you need to eat, okay? But you talk to your body and you just say to your body, okay, I'm not going to fuel you with the best ingredients today. So what I want you to do is pass out anything that the body doesn't resonate with, anything that's on a lower frequency or a lower vibrational scale, please just pass it out. Okay? Anything that is good and nutritious, keep for the body to feed on. Anything else, let it go. You can do that, and that's your mind taking control and telling your body, this is what we're going to do, let's go. You can do
Mm.
that, and that'll set you free.
Yes,
It works on a huge level.
yes. Good advice, Dal. Good advice.
Now, Joe, have you got anything coming up in the next few weeks? Any road shows or a training or anything like that?
No, I've got I've got to do some homework and get them all lined up. I've kind of got them floating in the air. So
Yep.
I just had to get my final oh, what do you call it? Proofs in for my diary.
Go
So
you.
that's what I've been focusing on. Yeah.
Go you.
Mm. Yeah.
I
What
have
about
a
you, Dal?
workshop. I have a workshop coming up on Saturday, May 23, and it's Evil Eye and
Oh,
Energy.
yes.
Yeah, and it's about energy and intention, and we're going to do some meditations, we're going to do some clearings. So that's going to be on a Saturday between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Saturday, May 23 at Restoring Wellness. I'm going to put a little QR code down below so that if you're interested, click on the link on the QR code or just scan the QR code and it will take you to all the details because it's going to be a fun event. And it's with Rosin Sarah, who we interviewed, Joe, about her
Mm,
book. So she's going to come and talk about the Italian witch traditions, and I'm going to talk about how the energy of now plays in with that. So it's very interesting, very exciting.
mm. Perfect. I love that.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for your time.
Excellent.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for your notifications so that you know when we upload. And we'll see you next week for more.
See you later. Bye.
Thanks, Joe. Bye, love.
Bye.